December last year, while meeting the president of European Council and the European Commission. President Xi stressed that China and EU economies are highly complementary, and we should do more to strengthen China-EU community with a shared interest, so a broader and deeper cooperation. So what do you think is gonna impact or make a difference to the economic and social development of Malta?
Yes, Malta is part of the European Union, 27 member states. There is a single market, so there is a free trade in goods and capital. There's a free flow of people. As I mentioned, whatever happens with the Chinese economy will have an impact in Europe. China looks to get closer to Europe, and Europe also looks to get closer to China. I am hopeful for this year. We had our Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade here in China last November, and we signed an MOU, a protocol with the General Administration of Customs, Chinese Customs, and we are now in the process of starting to export tuna into China directly. The better, the more peaceful, the more stable relations there are between China, and not just with the EU, but also with the US, the better it is for the economy.
Can you brief your expectations for China-EU in expanding the cooperation areas and achieving common development?
At least with European companies, and I think it needs to be addressed, and these non-tariff barriers, rather than decreasing. As we said, now is the time to do whatever we need to do to bring our economies closer together, and to do that, opening up is the best solution. So I hope we can join hands and do an effort together, because if the European and the Chinese economies do start working excellently together, then I think it will be a very big economic boost to the rest of the world.
I know in recent years we have very close interaction in the field of culture. The China corner of St. Margaret College Secondary School called the attention of Chinese leaders. And this year, in this year's Spring Festival, the biggest newspaper, Malta Times, also introduced the culture of Spring Festival in the special edition. What are the reasons of growing popularities of Chinese culture in Malta? And during your time in China, what measures will you take to further promote cultural exchanges of our two countries?
China and Malta established relations in 1972. We were one of the first Western countries to recognize China, and we are very proud of it. We have China Cultural Center in Malta. We have a China Center for Traditional Chinese Medicine since 1994. There is this constant interaction over these 50 years. Over 60 agreements have been signed. It's far away, but there are similar values in the sense that, like the Chinese, we also like eating. We like our food. We like our families. You love your families as well, the importance of the family. We like investing in our children's education. From St. Margaret School, he started this initiative to teach students science, give them different examples of Chinese culture, which works very well, apparently. There was also kind of fashion show. There was a picture of these ladies wearing these hanfu dresses walking through the main street of Valletta, and it was printed on the front page of the China Daily, and that's very good. So that was a very good move from Malta and Malta Tourism Authority, which was very important. In my term here, one of the areas I want to work on is exactly on tourism. There's so much potential, although the distance is there, but there's so much potential between of Maltese coming to China, visiting and discovering all that China has to offer, and of course of Chinese going to Malta and discovering what Malta has to offer.
As you mentioned, tourism. As we all know, Malta is a famous tourist destination, with the tourism accounting 30% in Malta's economy. This is a very big part. And I know after you come into China, you visit some places like Guizhou provinces.
Yes.
So what tourism development do you think we can learn from each other?
Guizhou, you mentioned Guizhou. It was pretty impressive. I really liked it a lot. They told me it was before one of the most impoverished and It's still very rural. A lot of the industry is agricultural industry, and but now they are modernizing it very much. They showed us these data centers where they have these big servers, computers, where they hold the data from these big companies. Very much sustainable hotels with green facilities, and that is exactly one area where Malta can learn from China, because we have a very historical country, because so many tourists are coming to Malta, so many people are interested. There's a big development going on. Sometimes we forget that we have to take care of the environment, and this is one thing which I appreciate about China, that there is this emphasis on sustainable development, sustainable quality development, and that is something which we need to, I mean, there are restrictions on what you can do.
Since you took the role as the Malta ambassador to China, you've got a very authentic Chinese name, Bai Hanxuan. Interesting. And can you share with us the origins and the meanings behind this name? And what other Chinese culture do you know about? And or I can say, what's your understanding about Chinese culture?
When I came, anyway, I was given this name, which I understand means Ba, because it's very similar to my surname, Buzutil, my surname, which also in Semitic languages means leader of 60, you know, it's coming like that. And then Hai means very big, immense, and Xuan is dignified, spacious, which comes with being an ambassador. With regards to your question, they look for peace, they don't like aggressiveness, and they don't like fighting. There is a certain respect also with regards to the elderly, that if there's an elderly person, I mean, a lot of Chinese, I understand they live in these very tall skyscrapers and in these apartments, and they all respect each other. We also, as I mentioned, like food. You have your own fruits, which are very different. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm actually getting hungry.
Me too.